Hey everybody, it's TMIKA. I am back with day 2 in card making adventures with the unicorn and ARTEZA products. If you haven't seen these products before, I'll put a link down in the description box for all of them. The stamp came from scrapbook.com and the real brush pens and the watercolor pad came from ARTEZA, and I am affiliate for both. So if you would be so kind, if you want to browse, please use the links down below in the description box. I will be greatly appreciative of that. Yesterday we created 2 little magical cards wishing you a magical day. Well, we made 1. I just duplicated it. So these are the cards that was for day 1 from start to finish using the watercoloring. Super cute. And like I said, I'm not an avid card maker or watercolor or anything like that. I'm just playing around with my stuff. So these cards were easy to make. So if you want to check that out, I'll have that down below as well. So let's get started with day 2's unicorn card. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and stamp out my unicorn on this watercolor paper because we're going to be watercoloring it. I'm using Memento ink in Tuxedo Black. And I'm going to juice this up really well and get, oh, I touched it with my inky fingers already. Let's just go around that. Okay, super cool. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this image out. Fussy cutting using my little butter bee scissors. And again, the same tip that I taught you or told you yesterday is go ahead and move the paper and not move the scissors. Just open and close the scissors very slowly and maneuver the paper instead. So I'm going to go ahead and finish fussy cutting out this unicorn and I'll be back. All right, I'm actually going to use my same little fold pad that I used yesterday. It still has the colors on it. So I'm only going to use, though, I'm going to go with the yellow and the pink and the purple today. Just the yellow, pink, and purple out of my brush pen sets here. And I can fill in these areas where I left off yesterday. And I want these colors to be quite heavy, so I'm going to give it an extra little color. So we got pink and purple and the yellow. And we're going to actually watercolor the whole unicorn. Another option is, if you don't want to do it this way, you can watercolor the paper like we did and stamp on top. So the one that I did yesterday, like this one, this is my test sheet. I did it on regular cardstock, which isn't bad at all too. And you can just stamp on top of the unicorn. So you can do that too. All right. I got some water here. So I'm going to start out with this yellow. And I'm actually just going to go over the whole unicorn. Just like that. And again, you could just put this on regular cardstock. And, I mean, not regular cardstock, but watercolor paper. And then stamp on top of it. It'd be a lot easier. But that's too much like right for me to think of that ahead of time. So I'm just going to do it this way. And I'm just going in straight of a line as I can. So after that pink, I'm going to fade to purple. Super pretty. And then I'm going to go back to yellow. And then I'm going to make that a little bit more, just make the colors a little bit more present. I'm going to dab it to keep it from bleeding. And go back in with the purple. And pink, of course, just do it to your liking. Okay, and then finish up with this yellow in the front. Super cute. Super cute little rainbow unicorn. I love it. So I'm going to tap this with a heat gun and I'll be back. Okay, so while that's thinking, I'm going to cut my dies. I have this oval or rounded rectangle die, and then I have a star. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little window. This is going to be like a little shaker. So I'm going to need a little bit of washi tape. You can use a Post-it note too, a little sticky note. I'm just going to use a little bit of washi. And I'm going to place it how I want, where I want the shaker to be. You want to give yourself enough room to be able to tape and add the acetate around. So I think I'm going to have it, you know, kind of like that. And I'm just going to take my washi and lay it on top and make sure it touches the outer parts of the die. Just like that. All right, that's on there, nice and good. I'm going to take my scissors and cut off the extra around the perimeter of the die. I don't want that to get on my cardstock. And then this is what I'm going to run through my cutting machine. And I want to make sure that I want this die at the same place every single time. So I'm going to leave that washi tape until I'm done cutting like 6 pieces of cardstock to make like a little shaker for this. I'm going to run this through the die cutting machine about 6 times and I'll be back. All right, I've cut this through. So cute. I love these stitch edges, and I did do it 6 times. This is 110-pound weight cardstock, and then of course I have these extra stars you can use for whatever in another crafting project or whatever, stitch stars, but this is money. I love it. So I'm going to grab a little bit of acetate, and I'm going to use these self-laminating sheets that you guys know I get from the Dollar Tree. I got a little square here. I don't need that much. I just need enough to cover 2 stars. So I'm just going to cut out a little square. Just like I said, enough to cover 2 stars. Because I just need a window for the back and the front of the shaker. So I have this, and I'm going to cut another one the same size. All right, so I got my 2 windows. I'm going to use this art glitter glue I get from Amazon. It's always in my description box. And I'm going to take my 1 acetate, make sure all of the dust is off, and I'm going to lay it on the back. All right, so I am just outlining this star here. I'm trying to get too close to the edge because I don't want it to leak on the outside. So I have my glue on top. And I'm just going to place this acetate on top and gently tap. Just want enough so I can set. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to grab another piece. I'm doing this on the back and do the same thing. Next thing I'm going to do is take the other 4 while those are sitting and thinking, and I'm just going to layer them. Just going to add some tape to the perimeter using my ATG gun. It's a snug fit over here with this star, but I chose a small stitch die, so that's to be expected. And I'm just going to layer all of these, match them up as best as I can. So I'm going to keep doing that, one on top of the other. Perfect. So that's how that looks. Now I'm going to take one of the windows. I'm going to cut off this little rounded edge of acetate, or round that edge off. And I'm just going to add this to the top. Now feel free to use red line tape or what have you, or any other double-sided tape that you'd like. I'll make sure I got enough tape on here. All right. This is going to go on top of the stack. So that's the front. And then this one is the back. All right, so I'm going to take some sequins, and I have this little assorted sequins pack, and I'm going to use this gold and this pink. I'm also going to use a little bit of this white that I have, iridescent white. Just going to drop a little bit in there. Not too much. I can always go back and add more. but taking them out is a pain. So just add a little bit at a time. I'm literally just adding a few. It's not going to be a huge shaker. It's just going to be enough to make a point. Okay. And then I'm going to add, do I want to add, I'm going to add a little bit of this gold. Just a couple, not too much. Literally a couple. All right, is that enough? No, I'm going to add, so you go back and forth with it. A little bit more iridescent and a couple more of this pink. That should be good enough. Like I said, just enough to make a little statement. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add some double-sided tape or some ACG tape to the front. Oh, I've lost a sequin. Let's put this back in there. You can do this before. I just like to be difficult, if you guys didn't know. So make sure I get enough tape on here. Not be careful not to go into the hole that you made. And I'm just going to lay the last piece on top, just like so. And then I'm going to add ATG tape to the back of this piece. So this is how it should look. So I'm going to set that aside for a quick second. We're going to get our card base together. All right, you need a piece of cardstock. I'm using 8.5 by 11, 110 pound weight. I'm going to cut it down to 4.5 by 7. Right. And then on the 7-inch side, on 7-inch, I'm going to cut it to, score it at 3.5. So your ending card should be 3.5 by 4.5. All right, I'm going to take my little crocodile and I'm going to round all of my edges on this card. Now I'm doing that so it can match the die that I chose. I think it just adds a uniqueness. And then I'm going to use this glitzy cardstock by Die Cuts with a View. And I'm going to grab this really pretty pink shimmer sheet. And I'm going to cut it down to 3.25 by 4.25. And I'm going to round these corners as well. All right, I'm going to add some tape to the back of my shimmer paper. Just like so, and center that on the card. Just like that. And I've already added my tape to the back of my shaker. I'm going to center that right there. All right. So I'm going to grab my stamp set out again, and I'm going to pull out the I Believe in You stamp. All right. Grab my Memento ink. And this is going to go in the lower left hand corner. Make sure I get that nice and juicy. Right there. How cute is that? Very. We got our little colorful little unicorn. I'm going to add some pop dots to the back of this. And I'm going to add this cute little thing to the card. Okay. And then I'm going to take some of the sequins that I use in the shaker and add it to the card. And then we're going to finish up with a little bit of STICKLES, which I did just buy and get some more in a recent haul. So I'll put those down below as well. So I'm going to just add some dots. I'm going to add a trio of dots. I put too much. I don't need that much. I don't need that much glue. All right. Dot, dot, dot. And I'm just going to grab the larger of the sequence, put that right on top of that one there. And then I have these little tiny iridescent ones. I don't want that one. Let's get this one. And I'm just going to layer these cute little, or lay these cute little sequins on my project. I don't want to touch it with my finger because I might have ink on it. All right. right, this is where we are. So we're going to finish it up with some stickles. And I'm going to use, got my little handy dandy stickle tray right here. And I'm going to use this unicorn. And I'm going to add stickles to her beautiful mane. And a cute thing about stickles is you can see right through it. Like you can, well, these anyways. You can see right through, so the color still shines through. And I'm going to stickle the mane. I'm going to stickle her nose. I'm going to do her hoofs. And you know what? I'm going to do her little horn. But I just thought it would be cute. I'm going to add a little tiny heart. I'm going to add a little heart to her body. She's going to have a little tattoo. Hopefully I can do this without messing up. I got the tiny little heart from the set. I'm going to add it right there. Yay! All right. And then I'm going to stickle that. All right, there we go. Look how cute that is. All the shimmer. Feel free to add, you know, a sentiment in here. I'm going to get this little corner together because that's bugging the heck out of me. All right, and here is the other one that I created. I think it's so adorable. Really, really cute. So we have a set. We have a set. Today's cute, cute unicorn cards. All right, guys. Links will be down below in the description box if you're interested. Don't forget to check out yesterday's unicorn cards. So if you're following along with me making cards, we have 4 cards right now. Absolutely gorgeous. All right. I will see you guys later. Bye.